Mic check 1 2, broadcasting live from somewhere in Brampton. I go by the name of Noise. I'm an MC, spoken word artist, beat maker, and community organizer from Brampton. And this is Hip Hop Wellness from Home in collaboration with the Hard House Hip Hop Education Program. In this video, we'll be talking about wellness, especially in these wild days and times of COVID-19 and the ongoing global pandemic. But before we get to that, I want to spit a little verse that I wrote around the topic of mental wellness. This is a verse from my song called The Sickness, which just talks about my experience with anxiety, depression, and how music and art have been incredible tools for me that I've used to help understand my thoughts better and help navigate through the world better. So it goes a little something like this. When I falter, I fall to the altar and call for a calmer departure. Try to hold steady as in arms of an archer until I break down, found face down, drowned in the thoughts that'll conquer. Been a shock to the system as if I had lost to the offense of Blanca. Feel it just pierced through the heart like I fought with the bosses of Contra. Saw what the darkness will offer, but chose light even when I had no sight. Contemplated the way to taking my own life, and know I made it another day and I hold tight. No, I'm unafraid of the fate of waiting a cold night. I related to brothers knowing they soul white, and related to others getting they soul right. Though I see them both in the middle as a mirror to my face, they afraid to embrace like Rogue might. The duality of man, seeing all the graves that reality demands, feeling all the pain and it had to be the plan. Like I was given these chains so that gradually I stand, and I stand taller than I ever did. Never meddle in medicine with the sedatives. See, it's imperative, dealing with the devil on the level that you settle with your dead him or you let him in. In my head again, I plotted my escape, was running at a start of my pace when I'm trying to get up out of dire place. Though I hit the bottom, know I got a higher faith. Eyes closed when I meditate, gotta lie awake, cause sleep is a cousin of death. So I play beats when I'm under duress, dig deeply up under the flesh and find peace when I color my text and light it up, never dulling the rest. Now, just a quick 16 around the topic of mental wellness. What does wellness look like for me? Wellness has been a bit of a challenge for me. I am considered essential staff. Outside of music, I do work in the fields of mental health and addictions as a case manager and counselor. So I am still out there every day, meeting people in the community, working with people that are in supportive housing. My heart feels a lot more heavier doing this work now, working in the mental health field, because you see how much your clients are impacted, and you kind of feel helpless a little bit. Like there's not a whole lot that you can do to support them, because a lot of the support services aren't operating at full capacity right now, or they're just suspended indefinitely for the time being. So that's certainly been a huge challenge for me, trying to figure out how to navigate it from a professional standpoint. And then from home as well. I do live in a multi-generational home. I do have young children in the house, as well as elders in the house that are over the age of 60. So I'm kind of that bridge generation that's responsible for meeting the needs of the youth, but also meeting the needs of the elders at the same time. So there's a lot going on, to sum it up. But because there's so much going on, I've tried to make it more of a priority, and made it my duty and my responsibility to prioritize my wellness every day. And the way that I like to do that is by maintaining some sort of structure or routine to my day. When things are slowed down, if you don't have work, if you don't have school, it's very easy to just kind of be caught in this, every day you wake up and you don't know what it's looking like. And it's very easy to kind of get caught in that overwhelming feeling. So I try to maintain some structure of a routine, whether it's going to work, maintaining physical exercise, make sure that I'm eating, maybe cooking, trying new recipes, and turning to art has been a big thing for me as well. As an MC, as a spoken word artist, I like to write a lot, and whether that's writing in the form of a rhyme or in the form of a poem, or just kind of journaling and just jotting my thoughts down, that's been a huge help for me. And days when I find that it's too heavy and I feel like I don't have the words to really articulate my thoughts, those are the moments when I like to turn to other forms of art. So I do spend a lot of time reading, and one thing that I found to be extremely helpful for me, at least in the past month or so, is I just spend a lot of time listening to music and digging for samples. As a beat maker, that's probably the most enjoyable part, is like you're digging, you're looking for that next record that you can find something that no one else has found, and you're trying to make something special out of that. So just that whole journey of finding samples and creating a beat from it, whether or not it's something that you're going to share with the world or not, just that process in itself has been very helpful for me, and giving me a chance to kind of escape from the world. There are a lot of people that are dependent upon me or need my support. So that's something I find that I can do just for myself, is, curl up with a book, or, just dig for samples and just have my headphones on, shut the world out, and just get lost in the creation of a beat. And things are slowing down for a lot of people, so this really gives us an opportunity to spend time with ourselves and understand ourselves more. So, some new things that I've discovered or rediscovered about myself is I've found that I'm being more cognizant about the way that I talk to myself and the way that I think. Just being very self-aware and mindful about the character and the quality of what my own self-talk is in my own head and what my own thoughts are within my own head. We live in this world, especially as artists or as entrepreneurs, where we kind of abide by these rules of hustle culture, where we feel like we always have to be on, we always have to be productive, we always have to be working on something that to take a step back from it, it can kind of create a sense of shame or guilt where you feel like you're not making the best use of your time. But, this is a very heavy time. So, one thing I'm learning to do is if I'm feeling in a negative state is just allow myself to feel it. Validate your own feelings, allow yourself to feel what it is that you're feeling, let it look like what it looks like, and just live with it. It's one thing to, be productive as we should be when we have goals, but at a time like this where, there are extenuating circumstances that might affect your productivity, it's okay to live with that and it's okay to slow down. So that's one thing I'm learning is, monitoring myself, finding when I'm being very down on myself, or if I'm feeling that shame or feeling that guilt, if I'm not as productive as I'd like to be, and just allowing myself to exist within that. And another thing too, one thing that I've kind of discovered is that, I am very much an introverted person, but I find that now that we're physically distancing, I find myself wanting more social connectedness. So I'm reaching out to my people, making sure they're good, whether that's through social media, whether that's through Skype, WhatsApp, FaceTime. We have so many amazing technologies that we can use to connect with other people. So even though we're not physically able to, speak to each other or be in the same room as each other the way that we used to do, I find myself going out of my way now more to connect with people that are within my circle and people that I care about. And I find that they're reciprocating too. More people are reaching out to me as I'm doing out for them. So check up on your people and make sure they're doing good, because, chances are if you're struggling with something and the weight of the world is just feeling unbearable at this moment, chances are someone else that that's going through the same thing too. So reaching out through social media, through our technologies, is a great way to kind of reduce some of that isolation and that loneliness that we might be experiencing right now. It's hard to sometimes find inspiration. The world, like I said, the world can feel very heavy right now. So where does that inspiration come from? For me right now, a lot of that inspiration is coming from my coworkers, as well as family and friends that I have that work in the medical field as doctors and as nurses. Like I said, I am considered essential staff right now, so I'm out there every day meeting with people. But sometimes when I wake up, I feel like I don't want to do it. There's a part of me that just feels like, it just feels scary sometimes to go outside your door. But hearing those stories of courage and of bravery of other frontline staff, that's a huge inspiration for me. It makes me want to get out there and, put my best face on and do all that I can to support my community and support the people around me. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys around the topic of wellness. Hip hop in different forms, whether it's through writing, whether it's through beat making, that's been a huge source of wellness that I turn to, especially in these days and times over the last month or so. And it's something that we can all engage in. That's one of the beautiful things about hip hop, is that there is such a low bar to entry. You don't necessarily have to know how to play an instrument. You don't necessarily have to know how to sing. It's something that anybody, regardless of your skill level, you can pick up and you can just dive into and study and just really develop your own craft at your own pace. So that's something that I've been turning to quite a lot, is writing and beat making and digging for samples. And hip hop has been a huge part of my wellness, as well as other factors such as I mentioned earlier, physical exercise, yoga, meditation, nutrition, sleep, water, and just having that routine, but also allowing myself to live within those down moments when I feel like I don't have much to give, just allowing myself the time and space to live within that and allow that to manifest and play out the way that it needs to play out. Be well, take care of yourself, employ some sort of wellness in your day-to-day life, and we will get through this. It may not be quick, it may not be easy, but there's a little bit that we can all do every day in order to make sure that we come out on the other side of this better than we did on the way in. So that's all my time for today. Once again, I go by the name of Noise. Thank you for your time and for your patience, and I hope you're doing well, and I hope you're staying safe.